Today is we are going to be reapplying DE to our DE filter. A lot of times through the season, the filters will get clogged and sometimes need a reapplication of DE. So with this particular filter, you can recharge it by bumping the handle. They call it bumping it, and that makes the DE fall off the fingers on the inside. When you turn the pump back on, all that DE will go back to and stick to the fingers. But sometimes that DE gets stuck with a bunch of organic material, and there's nothing you can do but just clean off the fingers in the filter and reapply DE. So we're to that point where we need to pull apart this Hayward filter. And we'll do that by removing all these bolts. There's like 36 of them. It's super not fun. I'll shut that off. So we'll reapply that, pull it out. We'll take those bolts out, pull it out, and then clean off the fingers and the filter in there with a pressure washer, or maybe a hose if we can get away with it. Sometimes you can get away with just cleaning it with a hose, but that hasn't been my luck. I'm sure that I'm going to have to pressure wash it. So first thing to do is remove the bolts. On mine, there's a outlet. I will open that outlet up and drain all the material, or as much of the material as I can. So first what I'm going to do is bump it, and that will remove the DE off the filter somewhat. And I usually do this about 12 times. And then we will open this up, and this will drain the water from the filter. And here we're going. Drain that out. I'll open this pump housing while I'm here because it's fairly dirty and I can see debris in it. Pull that off. You can actually see DE in there. That's what that cloudiness is. Not too bad though. So we'll do that. I'm going to shut this off so I don't drain all the lines back into the pool. This is the supply side of the pool. It goes in, comes in from the pool to the pump, into the bottom of the filter, up to the top, and out the supply side. So we're going to disconnect this nut so that I can take the top of the filter housing off. I have this cool little neat little wrench that is perfect for this. There you go. It's really cool for working on big nuts because these are often a little bit more than hand tight. So leave that. Leave this to clean. Just pulled the top of the filter housing off. It's just on there loose. And now we gotta do all 36 bolts on. What I'm going to do is probably get a drill and really go at it to speed up this whole process because this is not fun. Alright, I got the drill. Make this go a little bit faster, and you need a socket wrench on the bottom. You have to get both of them at the same time. Alright, now we'll undo the handle here. That's attached to the top of the filter. Move that out of the way. We're going to lift the top of the filter housing up. Remove that. Put it back here for now. And then this is the filter. And each one of these holes goes down to a finger. So, and on the outside of those fingers is DE, and that gets clogged. So we're going to pull that up. You can see the green stuff. That's organic material and algae. And then if you look real close, you can see this is DE and stuff, and it all gets clogged up there. And that's kind of what's clogging everything. So, and you can see it actually broke off. So the DE gets saturated with organic material and it has to be changed out. And look, that's what the inside of that looks like. So I'll rinse that out with a hose, and then we'll rinse off this filter and reapply DE. Let's do that. First step is to wash out this filter. And that's what we're going to do. Look at this ton of nastiness in there. I have to wash it out until we don't see any more green water in there. Let it drain out. Do it again. Alright, well that looks good. So now we need to do that to the filter. And hopefully I don't need to use the pressure washer because I don't want to drag it out, but this filter's fairly clogged, so we will see. Let me go get my little filter stand. I have this table that has a hole cut out in it that allows me to install the filter on top of it. The filter, like I said, has this handle, this rod that the handle connects to, so we'll just put that in there. You could do that with a pipe, or I have a pipe out front, but I don't know what that gray stuff is. Yeah, this is on there pretty hard, so I bet I'm gonna have to get the pressure washer, but let's try it, see what happens. You can see when you clean it what they're supposed to look like, much whiter already. And this is just a mid-season cleaning. If I was to be opening the pool, I would use a chemical that removes all the organic material and oils off of it, but we have about a month left of the pool season, and I just want to keep this thing going until the end of the year. Alright, well, it's not perfect, but it It is much cleaner than it was, and it's mostly white. If I was opening a pool for the season, I would make it perfectly white. But I'm gonna drop this back in, and then I have a few more steps. I have to clean out the pool filter by the pool, whatever the heck that thing's called, I can't remember now. And then we'll install this thing. One thing to be careful with is when you're putting this fingers back in, or this filter housing back in with this Hayward filter, so make sure the seal really gets in there. I've done it where I've pinched it, and it doesn't seal correctly, and it ends up being a nightmare just trying to figure it out. So that's sit correctly. I'll put the cover back on. Go make sure that the pool filter out there is, our pool basket is clear out there. I'll bolt that in a second. Probably won't put that on camera because it's boring. So right now I'm going to go clean the pool basket out, because that's normally got a bunch of junk in it, and that's where we're going to add the DE. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Alright, when you tighten this back up, you want to do it in a star pattern, kinda. And that helps the gasket sit or seat flat. I don't go out and tighten it like crazy the first time around, except right there. We'll kind of go around the circle a few times and progressively tighten it as I go around. Done. Let's get this handle bolted up. Close the back valve. Alright, so these filters all take a little bit different amount of DE. So this filter is a Hayward 65A. Hayward 65A, 6 pounds of DE. I've been buying DE at Ocean State Job Lot, and the bags come pre-measured at 6 pounds. So we just drop that into the basket, the strainer. That's what I've been trying to remember the name. The strainer, and you don't even have to measure anything anymore. So that is, it wasn't hard initially. You would use that, and that's 1 pound, but now it's even easier. So we're gonna do that here in a sec, but first we're gonna close up the pool pump. almost died because I breathed in too much chlorine. But we'll flip the pump on and get the water circulating. Oh, ooh, look at that. I almost missed it. That would have been fun. It would have just filled this whole room with water. So I need to flip the pump on, and then we will add DE to the strainer. That pump's gonna prime itself. There you go, starting to prime now. Alright, now we will go to the strainer and get that DE all in there. You can see it blowing over there. We'll try to add this in just fast enough that it doesn't clog the filter, but still coats it, which is pretty fast for me. See the filter's taking it, so that's good. It's going down pretty quick. Let's go see what the pressure gauge reads. Still pulling a little air. Let's open up the other ports. It'll pull air normally until these are all primed correctly, so you can see it going. Cleared up and minimal air bubbles. You can hear air at the top of the filter, but that'll go away shortly. And if you remember, I don't know if I pointed this out last time, when we took the original measurement before we started this, we were right at 20. And now we're currently at like 5. Yeah, 5. So I'll reset this. And I know that when this needle gets up to there, it's either time to bump it or clean the filter. And I bump it first, but if it gets clogged like every day, I end up cleaning the filter like I did today. So I have one other trick to prolong the service interval, which I think is really neat. I use these socks that you can buy on Amazon, and they're pool basket socks, and you just wrap your pool basket, and this will catch a bunch of the junk before it gets into your filter and makes you have to do all that work. It's way easier just to flip these things out or change these things out than to take your whole filter apart every time. So we'll show you that part real quick. I need to shut the pump off to do that though. I'll shut the pump off. And we'll go out there and switch that sock. I'll put a sock on because I've already switched it out. So we pull the basket strainer out. Put a new one on here. Just like that. I'll put a link in the description for for these. I really recommend them. They're only $13. This is a old sock. You can see all the crap and algae and pollen that gets out. But all right, let's go flip that on for the last time, and good to go for today. Okay, so that is how you recharge a DE filter. This one was a Hayward, but they're all fairly similar in process. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll be happy. I answer everything. I'll be happy to answer your question. I definitely recommend getting those socks that I had just shown you. They make life easier, especially the beginning of the season. Up here in New England, there's a ton of pollen at the beginning of the season, and those things will take out the pollen completely and won't let it get to your filter, so I definitely recommend them. But until next time,